Hello again. All right, today we are looking at arithmetic recursive, arithmetic explicit. We're looking at all of the formulas. We're going to do one video with arithmetic, one video with geometric, so stay tuned for part 2. But first, let's do this one. This is part 1, so make sure you're on part 1 with me. Now, we're looking for Uncle Rico. He is owning a sporting goods store, and he wants to donate $125 to the Owl Valley High School baseball team for their equipment fund. In addition, he will donate $18 for every home run the Owls hit during the season. Now, the sequence shown is right here, so the sequence is this right here, meaning that after the $125, if they hit one home run, they're going to get $143. But let's pause for a second. Let's come back to this. Why is that an N? So it says, the sequence shown represents the possible dollar amounts that Rico could donate for the season after N home runs. Why would they put an N there? Why wouldn't they put a number? Because they don't know the number yet. They don't know how many home runs they're going to get. So this is a variable on purpose. That variable is how many home runs they're going to be getting. So I'm going to fill out this table on the side. My term numbers is my number of home runs. So this is after I get one home run, I'm going to have $143. 2 home runs, I'm going to have $161. I'm going to let you keep filling that out. If you're not quite sure what you need to do, you are looking at your arithmetic, because we're doing arithmetic, because we're adding the same number each time. If it's arithmetic, that means we have a common difference. Remember, you wrote this on your notes, hopefully, yesterday, because we had those notes, that foldable, the notes that you get to use on your test. You can get those out right now as well. So pause your video for a second, get those out so you can use them on this worksheet. But how do I know what I'm adding each time? Well, you can look at the word problem. The word problem says I'm adding 18 each time. So add 18, my common difference is 18. So fill out the rest of that table. I'm not going to finish filling all of it out. I am going to put this number, 287. And this question says, explain in words how you could calculate the 10th term based on the 9th term. Well, if you have the 9th term, that's this one over here, that's our 287, how am I going to figure out the 10th term? And I can hear some of you saying it. You're just adding 18 again. So I can add, that should say add, my pen is dying again. Well, hopefully you can follow along. I can add 18 to the 9th term. I'm going to see if I can get my pen fixed. So you're adding 18, you can get the 10th term. Let's see. I can add 18 to the 9th term. Okay. Now I have my arithmetic recursive formula. What that does is it helps us find the next number in our pattern. So we're trying to find the 10th term. And because this is my 10th term, we've talked about this before. We talked about this in the foldable, but 10 is your n value. So that's why here and here, I replace n with the number 10 because I'm trying to look for the 10th term. I also have this 18 over here. That's my common difference. That's what you're adding each time. Which is the same thing over here. It's saying that that's my common difference. On the foldable, I write CD, not just the letter D, so that I know it's a common difference. But this one is kind of weird. So A9, how do I figure out what A9 is? You know what A9 is. It's this 287. So 287 stays here. I add my two numbers, and you end up with 305. So Rico's going to give $305 if they get 10 home runs. Head down here, though. Try and figure out the 11th term in this sequence. So take a minute, pause your video, look and see if you can find the 11th term. So again, if you're not sure where I'm getting these numbers, this 11 goes in place of my n's. This 18, this is my common difference. And then I also have this 305. Where do I get that 305 from? Well, I know that's my 10th term. I figured that out already. Now let's flip to the backside. Now we're looking at explicit formulas, which are my favorite, because let's talk about what if the Owls had a good season. They have 93 home runs. Well, you can do this by hand. It's going to take a while. You're literally having to add 1893 times, and that sounds like a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. So we have this formula to calculate the explicit formula to calculate the 93rd term. What I add first is actually my first term, the first number in my sequence. Then I have my common difference, which is 18, still the same problem. And then you have your n values. Your n value is how many home runs you have. So that's where these 93s come into play. All of these different n values. And I have fantastic news for you. Yet sometimes you do have to do a little bit more work, but this one, you could just put that straight in your calculator. And you should get 1,799. So you can figure these ones out as well. I've got 35 home runs here, so I'm going to put in 35 in both of my boxes because that's my n. That's my nth term, my 35th term. And again, put that in your calculator. And what do you get? I don't remember these numbers, so I'm putting it in my calculator too. 143 plus 18. Don't forget those parentheses. They are super important. And you should get oh, that's the highlighter. Let's try that again. A35 equals 755. Try that with C. And if you'd like to try B, C, and D on your own, do that, pause your video, and you'll get the answers back up here in just a second. I hate it when it does that. Nope, still hasn't set. Now B and D, you have to write in that formula yourself, but you can do that. A86. I still have my first term here, 143, plus my common difference, which is 18. And instead of n here, I'm going to put 86 minus 1. Again, that just goes straight into your calculator. And you get A86 is equal to 1,673. Now, what if they have a really good season? It's 214 home runs. Again, I don't want to have to add 18 214 times. That's a waste of my time. That's a waste of your time. Sorry, that should be 214, not 86. Subtract 1. And you get 3,977. So I know these can get a little bit confusing. If you have any questions and you're here early in the morning, my name is Mrs. Hathcock. I am in room C171, and I'm here every morning at 7:30. You are always welcome to come down to my room. If I'm not in my room, check next door. And I'm spelling my name wrong. It's fine, guys. It's fine. We also have tutoring after school in the library, or across the hallway from the library. So it's an A wing. If you go down to the A wing on